Alright, before I get into the video, I want to say a few things. Thank you viewer for taking the time to look at my video, it means a lot. Also make sure to subscribe if you are new here. Karen threatens to call Microsoft on me if I don't buy her entitled Brat Xbox Game Pass. I was playing some late night Gears 5, okay if you know what that means, and pretty much playing the game like regular. I got it recently, and I think it would be fair to say that I'm pretty good at it. Naturally, fellow gamers would agree that low-level players that are really good are what's called a smurf. For those who don't know, it's basically someone who is skilled that created a new account to dominate the actual new players. This information is rather important, so keep it in mind. It's the end of a versus OSOK match, I'm at top of the leaderboard and of course got MVP. And like most games, Gears shows off the character you were playing and it does a little emote. For me, it was the Terminator I got in the promotional DLC. He did his thing, clapped his hand and swung his arm around. I get an invite after the rewards screen popped up, after finally realizing I unlocked Anthony Carmine, not relevant just still super hyped. I get a party invite from an opposing player, which just so happened to be lowest in the lobby. I take screenshots of my endgame MVPs, and according this he got 0 kills, and 12 deaths, again not relevant, it just explains how bad he is, which on any standard is horrible. I assume he was gonna say something like your snipes were so bullpoop. You had to have had aimbot. Or you're so bad you should just quit, and I knew it was gonna be beautiful to listen to, so I joined the party and put on my headset. Our conversation goes as is. EK, entitled kid. Me, your faithful knight of service EK, in a very squeaky voice, hello. Bro, you there? Me, taken aback by his pitch, as he sounds around 7, and Gears of War is a very violent game, yeah what's up? EK, hey I saw that you're pretty new, and that you have the Terminator? Me, yeah, I got it by Game Pass if you're wondering. EK, well, since you're a smurf and you got Game Pass for your smurf account, you obviously have enough money to buy me Game Pass too, right? Me, honestly holding in my laughter, nah bro, I'm not gonna buy you Game Pass membership because I'm a smurf. That's just dumb. You shouldn't even be playing Gears, bud. EK, but you're a smurf? And it's against the rules. Quick moment, reassuring that I am not a smurf, just a Gears veteran. Even if I was, smurfing isn't against the rules, and we were playing quick play too, so ranking doesn't matter. Me, whatever dude, I'm not buying you the Terminator, and blackmail isn't gonna help you. I swear to you. The kid bursts into tears and takes off his headphones, throwing them on the ground. He supposedly runs to his mom, and I start working on my game. About 5 minutes later, I rustling on the mic and the puffs of a T-Rex. Enter Karen. Karen, hello. Me, hey, you that kid's mom? Karen, yes of course. Why aren't you buying my sweet darling that Game Pass? He beat you didn't he? Me, holding back more laughter, no, he didn't. I beat him, bad. If anything, he should be buying me Game Pass. Karen, you liar, I know he beat you because I was watching. Me, you're watching your son play this hyper-violent massacre of a Gears game? Karen, don't tell me how to raise my child. Give him the Terminator or else I will call Microsoft. I know a administrator there. Me, lady, and what? Tell them that I'm not giving your little gremlin a membership for being my doormat? Because I sure as hell walked all over him that match. Karen, watch your mouth you piece of, bad word for feces, and respect your elders. Me, I'm 23, and I'm not buying your son a $15 a month membership so he can play as the Terminator. I don't even know why you bought him the game, it's not for kids. Karen, I'll have you banned for this. I hear the Xbox shutdown noise in the background and almost immediately after he left the party. I let out my explosion of laughter, as I couldn't believe what just happened. After a while, about 3 matches later, I'm getting barraged by hundreds of messages from EK. Including but not limited to botsmov idiot retard dyslexic, spelled exactly like that, and other things. That wasn't my first entitled parent encounter on Xbox, and I hope it won't be the last, because I love EP encounters via voice chat. Grandma School's entitled Auntie. My grandmother, GM, my father's mother, was a scary lady who used to terrify the rest of the family. However, as far as I was concerned, she was a sweetie. It may have something to do with the fact that I used to be looked after by her every second Sunday for 3 years while I was boarding school. She was not really entitled, just very conscious of her status, Victorian in nature, very proper, for example, would never be seen eating takeout food in public. She had a niece who was an ex-primary school teacher, AL. She was definitely entitled and used to try and bully GM into doing what she thought was best. GM usually ignored her. My baby brother, BB, was a brat, 9 at the time, I was 14, and more than slightly entitled. If he didn't get his own way, he would sulk and generally make life unpleasant. This was in the late 60s and the family was visiting GM and my mother's sisters. I stayed with GM and the rest of the family stayed with my aunt. The Moscow State Circus came to town for the first time together with a menagerie of animals. GM thought it would be a good idea to take BB and myself to see it. AL naturally decided that it would be a good idea if she came along too, especially as GM was paying for it. BB decided that he wanted an old-style Kiwi hot dog, USA corn dog, aka rat on a stick, and some ice cream at the interval. AL said that BB was too fat and that it was bad for him. That he would be better off looking at the lions and tigers, and so dragged him off to see the wild animals. GM was pissed as she knew BB would spoil the second half, so she sent me off to get 3 rats on a stick with extra ketchup and 3 ice creams and 2 bottles of soda. AL and BB got back before me, and BB was whining because as far as he was concerned, food was more important than the wild animals. So I arrived with the loot and handed it all to GM, who then gave BB and me a rat on a stick each together with a soda. QAL complaining to GM that she said that they, BB and myself, couldn't have any food. GM looked her in the eye and said, "It's my treat and I will decide what my grandchildren will have," and then started eating the 3rd rat on a stick. When we had finished, she handed BB and me the ice cream and started on the 3rd one herself. AL then asked why she didn't have an ice cream. GM, with an evil grin on her face, then said that as AL had said it was bad for you, she wouldn't want to force her to eat anything that AL had objected to, as that would just be wrong. I saved a kid from drowning and the dad threatened to call the cops on me. So here's the context. I'm visiting my grandparents here in Fulton, Kentucky. I love going to the lake, so we go to one called Reelfoot Lake. As I found out, there's a big tree that is climbable and the top jumping branch is about 25 feet in the air. Most people were jumping from about 10 feet, but one kid about 15 years old wanted to jump from the top also, so when he gets up there and goes, he lands on his back. I guess he didn't know proper diving technique. I wait for him to move out of the way or something. The trees in Kentucky/Tennessee are in the water and kinda far out in the lake, but he pops up saying help. He can't breathe, he can't swim, and nobody else was paying attention to him, so I jump down and swim to him. He's a pretty big guy, bigger than me, and I had to swim underwater to keep him afloat and push him to shore. Once we got there, his parents asked what happened and I told them the story. The mom seemed to take care of her son and try to figure out what was wrong, but the dad started to question me and call me a gay pedophile and such. He said I should have let him do it on his own and he was going to call the police. I tried explaining to him that his son was drowning from his injury that he must have gotten from the fall, but he kept on insisting. The kid was coughing up water and was pale-faced sitting on the grass, and the mom kinda took the dad and talked to him with their backs turned. She must have talked him out of it because he just ignored me and they hauled the kid in their car. I hope he's okay and they got him taken care of. Was kinda surreal as that was the first time I've had to save anyone from drowning.